Right to the bone, no doubt about it. We need more Sausagoos.
Sausagoos! Sausagoos! I'm all tapped out. Gave all my money to Mr. Keith.
We could barbecue hot dogs.
Oh man, a hot dog's not the same thing. A hot dog's just a wiener. Sausagoos is a gourmet specialty.
And Eleanor makes them so tasty. Like a painter uses her canvas.
Like a pixie spreading her pixie dust.
She cares for them like a mother duck for her little ducklings.
And she nestles them close to her bosoms.
We're still talking about the barbecue, right?
I do have a confession to make.
How many have you had?
And it is kind of embarrassing.
You're not going to talk about the time your dad fanned you with the Playboys again, are you?
I've been having these dreams.
Dreams?
They're kind of a sexual nature.
A sexual nature?
Yeah.
So what, that's it?
They're not about a woman.
They're not about wieners.
No, it's about Barbie.
Barbie?
Yeah.
Well, she is anatomically correct, and I did read on the internet that it is kind of normal for guys to think about dolls. Dolls? Why, what were you talking about?
I'm talking about Eleanor.
The barbecue.
Yeah, the Barbie.
How does that work?
She's like a woman.
Explain.
She's got great legs.
And a nice rack.
She always listens to me.
And she'll keep you warm.
Ben, I'm in love with that Barbie.
She's the perfect girlfriend.
Oh, Jay.
Are we pathetic?
What do you mean?
When was the last time we had a real woman?
I don't think you're drinking fast enough.
What are we doing barbecuing by ourselves on a Saturday night?
Drink faster.
You're not listening to me. There's got to be more to life than Sausagoos and beer.
That's called more Sausagoos and beer. Drink up.
Do you really think we'll be like this 10 years from now? Are we going to be pathetic forever?
Here, I'll open the bottle. You're right, you know. Other than Eleanor, I haven't had a woman touch my wiener in months.
Why is that?
I blame you.
Me?
You bought the barbecue.
What about that girl you were talking about before?
Barbie?
No. You said you got a girl's phone number today.
Yeah. Oh, liquor store girl.
Yeah.
633-1942.
Well, what are you waiting for?
Oh, man, I can't do that.
Because you're a wuss?
Because I don't see you calling any girls.
I'll tell you what. You give your liquor store girl a call, and I'll call the girl that I was talking to you about before, the milkshake girl.
Yeah, all right. They say that women are never easy. But then, nothing ever is, it seems. I mean, it seemed simple enough when I called her up on Saturday night from beside sweet Eleanor. I said, hey, Mindy, you want to hang out on Wednesday night? And she said, sure. Thought it was a little odd that she wanted to meet at the Walmart. I don't know. I wanted to believe. I thought maybe she had a part-time job there or something. I don't know. I've never had a real job except for mowing lawns and stuff. I arrived at Walmart at the appointed 6:30, and I waited around until probably about 6:35. She hadn't come out yet, so I thought I'd go in, see if she was there. What's up with Walmart greeters? You know the guy I'm talking about. He's about 110,000 years old with one eye not quite looking at you. I guess the qualifications for that job must be breathing. I walk in and he says, "You need a cart?" And I'm not sure if he's even talking to me because he's got that one eye. I risked it anyway. I said, "Does Mindy work here?" And I'm not sure what he thinks I said, but he goes, "McDonald's is to the right." So I start to shuffle away. And as I knew, he's adding, "They have good milkshakes." So I went to McDonald's and I got a milkshake. Mindy wasn't there. I figured she must work there or something from what she said. So I got a milkshake and I sat down and started sipping it. Mint green milkshake. Shamrock shake. That's what they call them. You ever want to freeze a moment in time? I did. As I sat there sipping that milkshake, I thought about the moment when I walked into the liquor store and I saw Mindy standing behind the samples table, and her lips slowly parted, and she said, "Do you want to try one?" My legs got all numb, and I think if you had asked me in that moment if I was in love, I would have said yes. My hand, somehow working independent of my mind, reaches down, and I take the sample glass, shoot it, and bang. Right there, in that moment when I set the glass down, that's the moment. I looked up, and Mindy's tongue was just touching the top of her lip, and she tossed a bit of hair over her shoulder, and I could still feel a bit of burning in the back of my throat, and feel sweet strawberry on my tongue. I wanted to stay like that forever. And now look, here I was. I was going on a date with Mindy. Guys like me, we're beasts. We don't get to go out with girls like that. I guess I went on reminiscing like that for about 45 minutes or so. Mindy still hadn't showed up. I was starting to be a little hungry. So I went back up to the McDonald's counter, figuring I'd get another milkshake. When I got there, though, there was a big, plump, juicy quarter pounder staring down at me. I got the whole meal, supersized and everything. I shouldn't have done that, because I was spending all our movie ticket money. I'd taken $20 from Mom before. Hope she didn't want popcorn. Oh, and I grabbed one of Grandpa's condoms just as I headed out the door. Just in case. So I get my meal, and I'm sitting down, eating with more thoughts of Mindy serving samples in my head. I probably shouldn't have done that, because sometimes McDonald's food makes me gassy. I guess by the time I was finished my meal, it must have been 8:30. I was starting to get a little worried that Mindy wasn't going to show up at all, or that maybe something had happened to her. I wanted to make sure that she was okay. So I grabbed a payphone, thinking I'd call her at home. I figured I'd get her mom or her dad or her answering machine, and they'd tell me that she was on her way and everything was all right. But I wanted to make sure. Boy, was I lucky, because Mindy herself answered the phone. Hearing her voice made my heart flutter like 1,000 little butterflies on crack cocaine. I guess she forgot all about the date, eh? She said she'd been sitting at home all night. Hadn't thought of anything. She said she didn't even feel like going out later. I was a little mad at first, but then I figured, well, maybe she's sick or something. I wanted to make sure she was okay, so I said that I would head over to her house and check up on her. She didn't seem too happy about that. Pride, I guess. I knew where she lived, so I figured I'd bring her something to cheer her up. I wanted to bring her some chicken soup. That's what my mom used to make for me when I was sick, and it always cheered me up. I didn't know anywhere that had chicken soup that time of night, though, so I went to the drive-thru at Taco Bell and picked up some food. You ever get that twinge? You know the twinge I'm talking about. As I pulled away from Taco Bell, I feel a little twist in my gut. Like maybe I should go to the bathroom? But I didn't, because I wanted to get the Taco Bell to Mindy before it got cold, and I wanted a few minutes to spend with her before I had to take the car back to Mom. So I put the pedal to the metal, and I roared down the street. My car's pretty loud since Mom cracked the motor, but I covered it up. I cranked the trooper up real loud, playing Raise a Little Hell. I pictured Mindy upstairs in her house, hearing faint sounds of Raise a Little Hell, and maybe getting a whiff of Taco Bell, and thinking, oh, everything's going to be all right. My knight in shining armor is bringing me a sickness-healing bag of Taco Bell. Mindy herself answered the door, and she didn't look real happy to see me. She must have been quite sick. She said she didn't want the Taco Bell or anything. She just sat there like a big sook and watched me while I ate the whole thing. She must have been really not feeling well. She didn't want bean burritos or nothing. I wonder, do buttocks have a radar? Does a butt know when it gets close to a toilet? Because as I'm passing by our bathroom on the way to the kitchen, I get that twinge again. Like maybe the milkshake and the quarter pounder and the fries and them green burritos all got together and decided to make a mistake. I wanted to hold it in. I really did, but the pressure in my sphincter was so strong I thought I was going to explode. So I tried to squeeze it out real easy. Silent fart? Nothing doing. This little fart had come to rock and roll. Up and down the hallway, ricocheted off the sides, and ended in my mind like a gong. It ended much like it started. And a god-awful silence ensued. Like I imagine the whole world sounded after they dropped the A-bomb. I wanted to be mortified. I really did. I wanted to be a gentleman and say, "Excuse me," and walk away. But I was real nervous and scared, and I was like... When I giggle, sometimes I stick my hands in my pockets and I twist, and when I did that, Grampy's condom fell out on the floor. I knew that was not a gentlemanly thing to show off. So I bent over really quick to grab the condom, but when I did, a little bit more gas is good. This little part was so cool, I later named it Mary Lou. Her dad didn't think that was funny, though. He came around the corner in a rage, and he saw me standing there with a condom in one hand and a fart going up my ass. He grabbed hold of my belt and hauls me out into the lawn and tosses me there. And I laid there in the dark on the lawn, thinking about what a screw-up I was. For about 2 hours, I suppose. I finally picked myself up, got back in the car, headed home. I thought maybe I could patch things up with Mindy tomorrow if she was feeling better. When I got home, though, about an hour ago, there was a message on my answering machine from Mindy's dad. It said that Mindy never wanted to see me again and how I should have a nice life. Why do girls gotta be so mean? I only had the best of intentions. I only wanted what was best for Mindy. I only wanted her to be happy, and now she hates me. Damn, what a night.
What a night. I mean, friends kept telling me that sooner or later my luck would change. My luck with women, that is. They'd say to me, "Ben, you're thinking about it too much. What you need to do is forget about trying to get a woman, and everything will work out for you." I thought they were a crack. But everything that's happened tonight has proven them right. When I first asked her out, my heart was beating 1,000 times a second. But I figured if she said no, then I would see it as a sign that I was trying too hard. I knew that if Luke could wrestle up the courage to ask his girl out, I could too.